Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is the Archfiend Summon Skull type deck that I've been running and tweaking over the past couple of weeks or so since the game came out. Enjoy! So the first deck that we've got is Archfiends versus the Eldlich type matchup. So they activate Pot of Disparity. You'll notice, by the way, that I kind of swap between Fusion Recycling Plant and a bit later on into Archfiend's Oath, just because when I was moving from Gold into Platinum, I used Fusion Recycling Plant for a while. Anyway, so my opponent activates Cursed Eldland, pretty good starter card. They bring Eldlich the Golden Lord into their hand. If you don't know how Eldlich works, basically it's a control type deck where they summon Eldlich that can't be destroyed and then they protect it with a bunch of stuff. You also notice they threw Invocation into the graveyard, so this is like an Eldlich Invoked type deck. So yeah, they set two cards. I can't remember what they are now, but I've activated Frightfur Patchwork. So bring Polymerization to our hand and Edge Imp Sabers. So it's a pretty good card. Allows us to plus basically. Fusion Recycling Plant. So dump Fiendish Rhino Warrior into the grave. Rhino Warrior gets his effect. Heiress then allows us to search for good old Summon Skull. So now we can use Polymerization to bring out Archfiend's Manifestation. So we also use Archfiend Empress as a material there. So there he is. Our Summon Skull fella with 3000 attack. We just smack him for 3k. And then during the end of the turn, Fusion Recycling Plant's effect activates, and then we just bring Summon Skull back into our hand for use next turn. So if you don't know Archfiend Manifestation's effect, it doesn't really do anything really, but when it dies, it gets to float. So they're going to bring out a Eldlich the Golden Lord, so bringing it back into its hand to summon onto the field with 3500 attack, and now it can't be destroyed by card effects. Now they use Eldlich or Scarlet Sanguine to bring out Doom King Baladroch, so if they now have a zombie world, we're in trouble. So they destroy Manifestation. Like I say, Manifestation brings out a Summon Skull. I don't know why I put it in attack mode, but it is what it is. And then they end their turn. That's pretty much all they had going for them. So we bricked, but kind of so did they, so it's not too bad. So we drew Archfiend Emperor, which we're going to pretty much put straight onto the field. They're going to chain that, which allows us to go into Dark Spirit of Malice, which is not too bad. So we get to summon Archfiend Empress onto our side of the field. So there you go. And then their Scarlet Sanguine is going to set a Yugioh, which is the card that banishes monsters from the grave. We use Emperor's effect, try and pop it, but then they use Infinite Impermanence, and that has sealed their fate, ladies and gentlemen, because now we have two level 8s on our side of the field. Emperor's effect is now negated, so we'll just exceed both of those off into our Draglubion package, and now we will go into our Numeron Dragon and pretty much swing for game. So bring out Numeron, use Dark Spirit of Malice to recycle itself, and now here we go. So Numeron Dragon with 9000 attack, attack Doom King, and that's the end of that. So that's Archfiends versus Eldlich Invoked, a cool clean victory. It's Archfiends versus a Blue Eyes deck, effectively. So this is a kind of like a Chaos Max turbo deck. I don't know why Blue Eyes is so popular on Master Duel. I've seen it everywhere. Interesting how they activated Swords of Concealing Light when I didn't have any monsters, but hey ho, whatever. Manju, bring out a Advanced Ritual Art, send Blue Eyes into the graveyard to bring out Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. It's one of those cards where it can cheese wins because of that double piercing damage, particularly if you've got the likes of Creature Swap, right? So yeah, 4k attack. It also cannot be targeted or destroyed by my card effects. So I open up with Frightfur Patchwork, bring Polymerization into the hand, and Edge Imp Sabers. My hand is terrible. Berserk Dragon, turn 1, is really bad. But yeah, Void Apocalypse into Archfiend Heiress. Heiress brings out Dark Bishop Archfiend. Because we didn't have Tour Guide in our hand, what we're going to do, bring out Edge Imp Sabers and Dark Bishop, link those off, and then we're going to summon Cherubini. Cherubini's effect, of course, we can mill a Skarm, and then because we have Fiend Griefing next turn, we can add, you know, a level 8 Fiend from our deck into the graveyard. Dark Spirit Banishment goes to our hand from Skarm, which is not too bad. They're going to activate another Advanced Ritual Art to bring out, most likely, another Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Isn't that just lovely? So what can we do here? How can we possibly win? So Manju's attacking, we can use Fiend Griefing, get rid of one of their Blue Eyes, put Cursed Necrofear into the graveyard. Then we're going to use Dark Spirit of Banishment to summon it. And that's going to deal a bit of damage, not too bad. But the point of Cursed Necrofear is that Chaos Max is obviously going to destroy it. and then we are going to basically revive itself. So yeah, health is pretty low, end of the turn, Curse Necrophere comes back. We can pop at least one card. So I most likely target their face down card, and that was a Quaking Mirror Force, so that's not too bad. On our turn, Dark Spirit of Malice is in our hand. Activate another Fright Fur Patchwork, bring a Polymerization and an Edge Imp Sabers. Just a plus, really, it's nothing too crazy about it. Then Void Apocalypse, we can get rid of a Malice, go into Heiress, and Heiress is going to bring a Deal with Dark Ruler into our hands. Summon Edge Imp Sabers, we're going to link both of those off into Master King Archfiend. It's not the best card in the world, but still pretty decent for Dark Spirit recycling, like I said in previous videos. So add both of those into our hand. So we basically +1 from that, which is not too bad in terms of like general card advantage. And now let's have a look at what we can do. So Edge Imp Sabers, we're going to put Berserk Dragon into our deck. We're going to use Polymerization, go into a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. And that will have a lot of attack power. So we can choose any one of those, it's fine, 6,800 attack. Bring out Berserk Dragon, and then we're going to attack for 2,800 damage. And then at the end of the turn, that's it. Berserk Dragon loses 500 attack. But we've basically set ourselves up now for a Draglubion play on our turn, because we can always use Dark Spirit of Banishment, bring out Curse Necrophere, and then she'll die, of course, but then we'll just revive herself at the end of the turn. So yeah, she goes, and then at the end phase, of course, she comes back. So we've only got one more Chaos Max Dragon to deal with. So on our turn, we can draw a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Why not? So this is going to go into Draglubion. We can speed this up a little bit here. So Draglubion go into Numeron Dragon, just like last time. Put our Dark Spirits back into our hand, and then for the 9,000 attack, just swing for 5k and end that duel there. So that's Archfiends versus Chaos Max Dragon Turbo. So on our turn, we're going to summon Tour Guide, go into a Dark Spirit of Banishment. This is going to bring out Cherubini, pretty classic, pretty standard. So Cherubini is going to mill Fiendish Rhino Warrior, and then Rhino Warrior is going to mill level 8 Fiend. In this case, it's going to be Archfiend Empress. Empress is going to recycle the Dark Spirit monster. Set Fiend's Griefing. Our hand was very terrible. Like having 2 Heiress in our hand is not good. And it looks like we're against Blackwings, so they're going to summon Borrow the Spear. Then Whirlwind is going to search for a Blackwing card, and then they're going to bring out Gale and another monster. And then that's going to go into Wise Strix, so that's a Raid Raptor. It's like a Blackwing Raid Raptor type deck. So it's quite good for pretty much spamming out winged beast monsters from the looks of things. Exceed into 4 Strix. So what can they do here? So they can bring a Raider's Wing into their hand, which is pretty decent, I suppose. Wise Strix is also going to bring a rank up magic onto their field. Raider's Wing can activate its effect. I'm going to use Fiend Griefing here to kind of disrupt a little bit. So I know Zephyros can sort of like bring itself out or something like that, so I'd rather not let that happen. And then I'm just filling my graveyard with another Fiend that Empress can revive, basically. So they're using another Phantom Knight card to bring out Rusty Bardish, which is pretty decent. Boots is going to basically banish itself. It's a very combo heavy deck, so Raiders rank up magic is going to go into Arsenal Falcon, and this card is pretty problematic, unfortunately. Bardish is going to pop Cherubini, then they're going to bring out Kreese the Crack of Dawn, and then they're going to attack with Rusty Bardish, attack with Kreese, and then with Arsenal Falcon. Now I'm going to use Dark Spirit Banishment, go into Empress, make that die, and now we can basically get around their Ultimate Falcon shenanigans effectively. So now it's our turn. We drew a Fiend's Griefing, like, it's just not our day. We summon Rhino Warrior, because why not? Let those things die. Now we're going to link them off into a Master King Archfiend. So that allows us to get Dark Spirit of Banishment back into our hand, but it also enables us with Fiendish Rhino Warrior to actually mill a card. So what we're going to do, Dark Spirit of Banishment of course comes back into our hand, and then Rhino Warrior is going to mill Skarm, and at the end of the turn we can search for most likely a Dark Spirit of Malice. So just speed this up a little bit. They activate Dark Ruler no more, it's pretty pointless. They activate Cosmic Cyclone. I'm going to chain that to bring out Empress, but then I'm also going to chain that with a Fiend Griefing. So just get rid of Borrow the Spear. So let this resolve. And now we can send a Archfiend Emperor into the graveyard. That's just going to bring our Dark Spirit of Malice back into our hand. And then, just because we have Master King on our side of the field, we just chain block it just to make sure they can't stop it with, I don't know, like a Skullmeister or something. Triple Tactics Talents, draw 2 cards, not too bad. This is going to go through all of their plays here. Raider's Knight, it's not bad. Use its effect, go into Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. So this card has the ability to suck up all of the attack power of everything, trying to swing for game. They don't quite realise that we still have a Curse Necrophere. So attack's been redirected at the end of the turn, of course she comes back. These first few duels, I'm afraid we kind of just go into Dragonmaid and just swing. So yeah, Polymerization, go into Dragonmaid, use Dragonmaid's effect, go into Numeron Dragon, bring both of our Dark Spirits into the hand. So now if they activate any effects, we can just keep bringing out our high level 8 Fiend monsters. Now of course, Numeron Dragon, activate the effect, go to 9000 attack, attack Rusty Bardish for 11k damage. Actually yeah, it's even more than 9k, it's 14k, because they have Arc Rebellion. Not bad. Right, so now we're against Sky Strikers, so it's their turn first. Mobilize Engage, bring Ray out, standard setup, right? Shizuku is going to search multi-roll. 2 cards face down, I assume one's a Widow Anchor. Go into Frightfur Patchwork, Poly, and Edge Imp Sabers into our hand. Activate Instant Fusion, Sea Monster of Theseus. Then we're going to go into Rhino Warrior, synchro both of those off into Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler's effect, and Rhino Warrior's effect. Can they chain it with anything? Doesn't look like it. So Rhino Warrior sends a Dark Spirit of Malice into the grave. Then we're going to mill 5 cards. Another Rhino Warrior, so annoying. And a Scam, so that was terrible. Called by the grave, we're just going to get rid of their Ray, because why not? Because if we kill Shizuku, that means she can't special summon it back. Scam's effect, bring Banishment into our hand. Not that we have any level 8 Fiends to speak of anyway. So they pop Chaos Ruler. They're going to use drones, bring out Hayate. Hayate can attack directly, of course, and send stuff into the grave. I mean, the Widow Anchor is kind of a weird play there. I know Kagari can then bring stuff back. In this case, it's the Mobilize Engage. But I'm going to use Skill Drain to kind of stop all of that. I don't know why they didn't just put another Ray into the graveyard. If they only play 1, then that's a bit dodgy. But anyway, send Hayate back just to send a Emperor into the grave to recycle our Dark Spirits. But they had a Shark Cannon, which is very frustrating. So Shark Cannon, of course, in this case doesn't remove, but they've special summoned Emperor on their side of the field. And then of course multi-roll can set that Widow Anchor for some follow-up next turn, along with Mobilize Engage. Our turn, cool. Void Apocalypse, decent. Send Heiress into the grave. We're just going to destroy Kagari with Dark Spirit of Malice. And then we're going to use Malice's effect to bring out the Empress that we milled with Void Apocalypse. So bring that out. And then they are using multi-roll to get rid of the Archfiend Emperor. So that just allows us to bring Malice back into our hand anyway. Okay, they've popped Skill Drain. They've also popped a Archfiend Empress, which unfortunately misses timing. And just as luck would have it, we managed to draw a second Skill Drain, so there you go. Anyway, Heiress's effect activates, Ash Blossom just stops that. Set Skill Drain on their turn, they do nothing apparently. Shark Cannon, just taking care of Edge Imp Sabers, I don't really care, so chain that with Malice, bring out Archfiend Empress. So they're going to use Max Siege just to draw a couple of cards. It doesn't really matter with Archfiends because we don't really spam monsters anyway, so at most they're going to draw like 1, maybe 2 monsters. So yeah, Empress on our side of the field, Edge Imp Sabers on their side of the field for defense. They should really be banishing these things, to be honest. Recycle both of our Dark Spirits, we put Cursed Necrophere in the graveyard. Do they have a Shark Cannon? Perhaps not. So both of our Dark Spirits are in our hand. So now we've got pretty good monster lineup now. We've got Empress on the field, we have a bunch of high level monsters in the graveyard, so if you think of potential monster counts, quite a lot there. Straight away I just wanted to chain Malice to multi-roll, because if they start activating Shark Cannon, I would really want to have the good cards that I've got on my side of the field and not banished. So yeah, Cosmic Cyclone, getting rid of Void Apocalypse, then they get rid of Skill Drain as well, which pops Cursed Necrophere, so Malice gets recycled, and then of course Cursed Necrophere just summons herself anyway, so there you go. My turn, summon Tour Guide. Widow Anchor. Do I chain Dark Spirit? Yes, I do. So get rid of Dark Spirit of Malice, bring out Archfiend Emperor. Plenty of monsters now outside the field, try and swing for game. They use Widow Anchor on Tour Guide. Again, I think that was possibly a misplay. I don't know why they didn't just take something else. Anyway, Tour Guide gets negated, and then we go to attack. Swing for game, but of course they surrendered in the meantime. Okay, so in this duel, good old Fright Fur Patchwork. Bring Polymerization and Edge Imp Sabers into our hand. Activate Polymerization. Berserk Dragons in our hand again, turn 1. Hate it. So Heiress is going to bring Archfiend Empress into our hand. Use Void Apocalypse, get rid of Empress to get rid of a Skarm. At the end of the turn, Skarm's going to bring Dark Spirit of Banishment. Can't really do much. We're against the Toon deck, ladies and gentlemen. So they summoned Toon Cyber Dragon. Couldn't really do much. We used Dark Spirit of Banishment to sort of reflect that sort of stuff. They have Toon Bookmark. I'll just slow this down a little bit. They have Toon Kingdom that they searched off of it, and then they've set a bunch of cards as well. So, our turn. So far we've got Dark Spirit of Banishment in our hand, we have 2 level 8 Fiends in the graveyard, and then we've also got Fusion Recycling Plant. So we can add Polymerization. We are going to send Rhino Warrior, which is going to send an Heiress, and now we can send a Summon Skull from our deck into our hand. Now we can activate Poly, send both of our monsters in our hand to Fusion Summon into Archfiend's Manifestation. So, our turn, we attack directly with pretty much both of them, so that's quite a lot of damage. And then at the end of the turn, we can activate Void Apocalypse first to bring a Skarm. End of the turn, Skarm's effect activates, bring Dark Spirit of Malice into our hand, and then Fusion Recycling Plant, we can bring Dark Spirit of Banishment from the grave to our hand. So now we've got both of these cards, we can float into Summon Skull, we can float with Archfiend, Empress, it's all good stuff. Toon Page Flip, really good, revealed 3 different Toon monsters with different names. I have to pick one to special summon. So Toon Blackluster Soldier, probably one of the better cards in a Toon deck. Then they have Comic Hand, which is a bit frustrating. So they activate it, of course. They're going to steal Manifestation. They're going to attack with Blackluster Soldier. We're going to go straight away into Cursed Necrophere, just so we can try and pop stuff. So that gets redirected. And then Manifestation, of course, they're just going to try and swing directly. So end phase, Cursed Necrophere's effect, we're going to special summon it. And what are we going to pop? So we can pick a bunch of things. They have Toon Page Flip, so Toon World unfortunately doesn't get destroyed. I think they have another one as well, which is a bit annoying. So here, I'm just going to crash, just so I can activate Cursed Necrophere's effect again at the end of the turn. So bring this out, try and pop Toon Kingdom again. I think this was the point where I realised they had one too many page flips. So anyway, next turn for sure we can try getting rid of Toon Kingdom. So Toon Page Flip again, they're going to reveal 3 different ones, so Dark Magician, Red Eyes, and a Ancient Gear Golem. They get the Toon Dark Magician, which lets them to special summon another monster. Malice kind of have no choice here, so I'm going to bring out a Archfiend Empress. Don't think this can attack while it turn its summon, so that's a bit lucky. Toon Rollback they're going to bring to their hand, and of course they're going to activate it, so their Toon Blackluster Soldier can attack twice, which is pretty strong. Luckily I had a Fiend Griefing, which allows us to basically recycle our Dark Spirit monsters. So rather than having them attack for 6k, we can use Dark Spirit of Banishment to intercept that attack. So we can kind of speed this up a little bit now. So their attack directly, use Dark Spirit of Banishment, summon Emperor. They have to, of course, protect it. And then they could have attacked directly, but I think they were a bit scared for some reason. We wouldn't have lost anyway. Rhino Warrior into Edge Imp Sabers, then go into Draglubion once again. They've only got 1700 damage left, so I don't actually think we needed to do this, but yeah. Recycle Dark Spirits, go into Draglubion, 9k attack, swing for 6k, and end the game from there. So that's Archfiends versus Toon World. Right, about halfway through now, ladies and gentlemen, so we are now against a Witchcrafter deck, which is kind of frustrating, to be honest. So they're going to bring out their Witchcrafter Madame Verre, I think it's called, which is a pretty decent card as a big defense type monster, so they can just reveal cards in their hand and then they gain a bunch of attack and defense. They can also negate the effects of all face-up monsters I control, and that's a quick effect. Super strong, but let's see if I can kind of get around it. So my turn, I've got Void Apocalypse. His hand is actually pretty decent. They have a Patronus, so that shuffles cards into their deck, and then they add spells to their hand, so that basically keeps their Madame Verre alive. They can also banish the card from the graveyard. So, Tour Guide. They are going to shotgun it, basically, and stop Tour Guide from activating. So that's not too bad, because we do have a Polymerization in our hand, and we've also got a Void Apocalypse. So, Rhino Warrior and Skarm, and into Heiress, and Heiress's effect is going to bring Summon Skull into our hand. Now we can use Polymerization, get rid of Tour Guide, get rid of Summon Skull, summon Archfiend's Manifestation, 3k attack, which means we can get over it, but I know for sure they have a spell to stop it, so I'm not going to bother. Bring Dark Spirit of Banishment into our hand. We have a Fiend Griefing, so we can always make that live if we want to. Witchcrafter Creation, add a Witchcrafter to their hand. So what did they add there? It was Witchcrafter Genny, or Jenny. Use Fiend Griefing, so just try and slow them down a little bit, because I know they can do stuff where they banish from the grave. Completely forgot, Patronus can also take stuff. So this was a huge misplay on my part, and it slowed us down by like a whole turn or two, which is kind of annoying. Should have waited for Patronus to activate first, but it's what it is. They summon Hain. Hain can pop cards on the field, so they get rid of Manifestation. Manifestation summons Summon Skull. Speed this up a little bit. They're all their Witchcrafter spells, if you didn't know. At the end of the turn, they can basically add themselves straight back into the hand. It's really powerful. So, Void Apocalypse. We're going to get rid of a Rhino Warrior. Hain's going to pop it, which is a bit of a pain, but at least Rhino Warrior gets its effect as well. So here, we're going to send a Empress, which will recycle Dark Spirits if we need to. I think I just summoned Dark Bishop just in case they try targeting, just to get some effects going off, you know. So what have they got here? So they've got Adele. They're going basically recycling through all of their Witchcrafter cards to dump spells and then bring those spells into the hand. That's kind of the whole deal. What can they do here? So battle phase, they're going to attack. They're going to negate Dark Bishop for some reason. And then we're going to use Dark Spirit of Banishment to redirect that attack into Archfiend Empress. So now if she dies, we can float, which is not too bad. Right, so at the end of the turn, they're just going to bring their spells back into their hand. So that's 2, 3. It's absolutely insane just how like recyclable all these cards are. So like 3 or 4 cards they managed to add, and they've brought a Hain back onto the field. Yeah, very powerful. Right, mandatory 500 life points. Then we activate Frightfur Patchwork, which then gets ashed. It's not too bad, to be honest. So, we could link off here into Master King, perhaps. No, what we're going to do is use Summon Skull, trying to bait out the Verre attack. And then they're going to pop Empress. And it's not damage step, so we can use Empress to bring out stuff. And Dark Spirit of Banishment as well, which gets to recycle itself. So that actually worked out in our favour very well. But they have a second Madame Verre, which is very annoying. But anyway, Summon Skull, you know, might be able to get over this, unless Verre decides to use the quick effect. Yeah, of course. So, gets a 1000 attack boost, so Summon Skull can't get over Adele. That's okay, we can at least destroy one of these Verres, and at the end of the turn, we're going well, main phase 2, we're going to go into Beatrice. Beatrice gets rid of Manifestation, send a Skarm. And now we basically have like the full combo, you know, so we've got Malice that we get added straight into our hand. So, very grindy type game. Send Malice to bring out Empress. Remember, they have a Hain to pop, they have a Verre to, like, you know, stop effects, but we're going to chain with Beatrice at least to kind of force the effect out. So we're going to send a Curse Necroference to the grave to recycle Dark Spirit of Malice. Empress is on the field. Patronus, recycle, shuffle, bring spells into the hand, strong stuff. But like, we've got pretty good floating power now, so I'm not really too worried about what happens. So we're going to bring Curse Necrofer out, redirect that attack, and then they're going to obviously beef up their attack to destroy Dark Bishop. I don't know how he survived that long, but whatever. But maybe it's because this type of deck is quite a slow, grindy, defensy type deck. But yeah. So they've put Buy Street back onto the field, they've put like 7 million spells into their hand. Activate Tour Guide, that's fine, everything's going to resolve. So Tour Guide gets to summon something, which is okay. That's going to bring out Rhino Warrior. Now they're going to negate everything, that was a bit late. Summon Master King, we get to send Heiress, chain block it with Master King so that we can recycle it, which is cool. So what dice roll did we get to? Yep, so put it back into the deck, and now we can bring a Duel with Dark Ruler into our hand. We're going to summon Underworld Goddess of a Closed World to get rid of Madame Verre, and then recycle our Dark Spirits. Just chain block here and negate their Adele, why not? And now we can, I think, almost go for game. Nearly go for game. We can summon Berserk Dragon and swing for 3,500. And at the end of the turn it loses 500 attack. We're going to it's a very back and forth, over and over type game. So as you can see, we're on turn 9. So Dark Spirit of Malice is going to bring out Archfiend Empress. Their Patronus is going to effectively bring out Adele. Then they have all of their spells that they can just keep using over and over again, like forever, you know. So yeah, creation, bring out Shmethel or something. Then they've got Golem Maruru, which is okay, I suppose. I like the fact that they all have quick effects. They have Holiday, which special summon stuff, but I'm going to use Underworld Goddess to stop that, to kind of slow them down just a little bit. And they realise that they probably can't win, so they surrendered. So that's Archfiends versus Witchcrafters. Okay, so new duel, new day, new life. So our turn, Void Apocalypse. Speed this turn up a bit. Send Skarm. Skarm brings Dark Spirit Banishment. Set Fiendish Rhino Warrior. It's terrible, isn't it? So we're against a what's it called? Sky Striker deck. They've got Hayate. We're going to counter that with Dark Spirit of Banishment to summon Cursed Necrophir to destroy Hayate. Hayate can at least send multi-roll. They've got a Ray anyway, so Ray's going to come onto the field. They're going to attack Rhino Warrior, which is nice. So send another Skarm. Happy days. They're going to bring out Kagari, and Kagari can recycle some stuff, so bring Mobilize Engage to their hand. Basically a Pot of Greed. And now they can destroy our card with Afterburners. I don't know if they read cards or not, but that brings Banishment into our hand. At the end of the turn, it's going to bring Cursed Necrophir back onto the field. So, summon Shizuku, bring a field spell, Malice off of Skarm, Cursed Necrophir onto the field, and now just to slow them down a little bit, we're going to pop one of their back row, which is a Shark Cannon. Fantastic pick. So, send Empress, send Heiress, bring Emperor, force them to activate Widow Anchor with the pop, and now we can summon Empress off of that, because we chained into Dark Spirit of Malice. So it's quite an explosive deck, really. You know, for being this old, it's not too bad, eh? So anyway, Cursed Necrophir goes on their side of the field. We attack into Shizuku. Ray comes out onto their side of the field. Then obviously into another monster. In this case, they've summoned Kaina. I feel like whenever they summon Kaina or the other monster, they get a bit desperate because they just cards that just aren't very good, you know. So yeah, they've targeted stuff. Oh, I can't attack, you know. They've brought Rose to their hand. We don't have any extra deck monsters anyway, so who cares? They're just trying to bring all their life points back up with that monster. Zeke, this is the other one. So Zeke can banish until the end of my turn, I think it is. I just feel like when they bring that out, it's just a very desperate move. Anyway, Pot of Avarice, recycle a bunch of their stuff, reinforcement of the army, bring Ray into their hand, not bad. Link off into Kagari, not a bad move there. So Kagari's got 2,500 attack, now 24. That's the thing, you know, Archfiends have some of the highest attack in the game, I feel. So even though they've got all these cards, like how many spells have they got in here, you know, like 10 or something? It's still not enough. So anyway, over into Hayate, into Shizuku. I don't know why they do that. Then they summon Halki Fibrax into Effect Veiler. Celine, Queen of the... oh, they're going to summon Access Code Talker. Check this out. So, Access Code. The card to be feared, unless you're playing Archfiends, then who cares? So, how much attack has it got? 56? 53. Pop Archfiend Empress. Emperor is going to come in onto the field. They're going to use a Shark Cannon, but we've got Dark Spirit of Malice, so we'll just counter that and bring it onto the field. Quite lucky. Empress comes onto the field, in addition to Archfiend Emperor. So Shark Cannon was worthless. What are you going to do, Access Code Talker? Let's see. Destroy Emperor. Okay. Bring Dark Spirit of Malice back into our hand. Are you going to pop Empress? Yeah, of course. Empress's effect isn't once per turn. Let's just bring Emperor back onto the field. Ah, you're going to destroy it again, are you? Okay. Yep. And multi-roll. Okay, sure. Yep. What are you going to do? Bring Ray onto the field. Oh, okay. They're going to try and OTK us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Access Code Talker. Straight into Dark Spirit of Banishment. Bring out Archfiend Empress. Redirect the attack. And, of course, we can use Empress's effect for a third time. Bring out Archfiend Emperor. Now what are you going to do? Nothing. Gemisiel. Oh, tribute it over. Fair enough. Dark Spirit of Banishment goes back into our hand. Access Code Talker did nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely nothing. They're going to summon a Kana. Okay. Again, desperate move. They used it for access code to destroy stuff. Okay. So, Shark Cannon through multi-roll goes back into the hand. Pretty decent. Now it's our turn. Both Dark Spirits in hand because they let us recycle stuff. They're going to Ash Blossom our tour guide. At this point, we are just basically waiting for them to activate Shark Cannon so that we can chain it with Dark Spirit of Malice. So we just need to make sure we don't try and shotgun too many things. Unless, of course, they... No, they're not. I thought they would Shark Cannon the Edge Imp, but no, they're a bit smarter than that. Anyway, Cherubini. So we can use Cherubini's effect. So send Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Rhino Warrior's effect is going to send Heiress. And Heiress's effect is going to bring a Deal with Dark Ruler into our hand. So that basically just enables us to extend our plays. So if they destroy stuff with Access Code Talker, of course, we can use Deal with Dark Ruler to summon Berserk Dragon. So Zeke's effect is now over. Curse Necrophir is back onto our side of the field, which is nice. They're going to go through all of their pops again. Good old Sky Strikers, trying their best, bless them. So multi-roll, send Hayate. We're going to basically shotgun this because we don't want our Deal with Dark Ruler to get destroyed through Access Code Talker or something. So we summon Berserk Dragon. They've activated Shark Cannon. This is what we've been waiting for. Oh, they're going to try an OTK or something with this. So yeah, Access Code Talker tries to attack Berserk Dragon. I thought they would banish Empress, but they didn't, so that's why I didn't chain it with Malice. Anyway, use Dark Spirit of Malice's effect to bring out Archfiend Empress. And we decided as well, I decided to not revive off of Empress, because at the end of the turn, Curse Necrophir comes back. And I believe I pop the Widow Anchor they just set. No, I popped the... Oh, I popped Called by the Grave. Not too bad, eh? Plenty of cards on our side of the field. What can we do? Driglubion. Sweet. And actually, yeah, the reason why I didn't pop Widow Anchor is because they've got Emperor, and they can't activate it, I don't think, because they control a monster in their main monster zones. So that's a bit of a misplay, I think, with that Shark Cannon. Anyway, Driglubion, recycle our Dark Spirits, and now we can use its effect to get up to 9,000 attack the Emperor that they summoned, and just swing for a bunch of damage. So what's that, like 6k damage or something? So Archfiends once again beat Sky Strikers. Right, so we have 3 duels remaining in this sort of top 10 replay list, ladies and gentlemen. And what a bricky hand we have. So they start first. This is a Dragonmaid deck. So they start off with Chamber Dragonmaid. They bring, what is that, Downtime into their hand. Set 3 and pass. So I guess they probably bricked as well. Oh, we draw a skill drain though, not too bad. So Frightfur Patchwork gets ashed. Ugh, this is a bit annoying. So we'll just speed this up a little bit. Nothing really is going on here. So we're going to set all 4. Yep. Leave Heiress in our hand because we're going to use it a bit later on. Chamber Dragonmaid into Tidying. So this returns skill drain into our hand. So that's quite a nice piece of interaction there. And then downtime can do a bunch of different things. So they can return spell or traps, they can add Dragonmaid cards. So they added the card, and we're going to send basically their Ash Blossom back into their deck just to make Call of the Archfiend live should we need to use it. So they're going to go back into Chamber Dragonmaid, go into is it Changeover, so they can fusion summon. Just to anticipate the Sheol, I'm going to summon Curse Necrophir, and then they used Called by the Grave, so we're in a really tight spot at the moment. So we have a second Fiend Griefing, I suppose, just kind of damage control at this point. Send the card back, send Empress into the grave, Curse Necrophir gets banished, and now, yeah, Changeover is going to summon Yugioh. So they've got their interruption there, and they're of course going to negate our Heiress, which is going to go into, was it House Dragonmaid? Yeah. So House Dragonmaid's there. Use Tour Guide into Rhino Warrior, and that's going to go into Cherubini. Cherubini, so Rhino Warrior into Heiress, Heiress into Archfiend Emperor, then Cherubini into a Dark Spirit of Malice. Right, now we can use Call of the Archfiend to bring out our Empress. Now Malice can then go back into our hand. Yeah, I'm basically crashing to bring out Emperor, and then on our turn we can pop their face down, which was Forbidden Droplet, not too bad. I feel like I misplayed like horrendously with Skill Drain, because they use Chamber Dragonmaid, and then they go into downtime, and then I believe they're going to return Skill Drain back into our hand. Yeah, I think I misplayed twice with Skill Drain, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So Chamber Dragonmaid allows Changeover to basically become live, and now they're going to use Hospitality, special summon a dragon from the graveyard, and then use Dragonmaid Changeover to summon Yugioh again. So now Yugioh's on the field, they've got another negate, and then they're basically attacking everything that we've got. Right, our turn. They're going to, on standby phase, bring Kitchen Dragonmaid. We're going to chain that with Malice. Will they negate it? Let's find out. Yes, they will. So that's not too bad, because we've got Call of the Archfiend to summon our Archfiend Empress. And they've got Maxi to kind of plus off of what little we have left to do. They've got 8,000, we've got 2,900. Empress is on our side of the field. We are going to use our Fiendish Rhino Warrior in a second, once these effects resolve. So they've got a dragon in their hand, they just milled 2 House Dragonmaids. And they're, I believe, going to send our Call of the Archfiend into our hand, but it doesn't matter. Send Scam, so that can bring Banishment into our hand. It's going to come in handy next turn, otherwise we just die. And then, yeah, they bring a bunch of monsters, we just kind of have to attack, really. And then they pop our Empress, which is okay, because that brings Dark Spirit of Malice back into our hand. And now we can summon Archfiend Emperor onto our side of the field. And it's still the battle phase. So, yeah, main phase 2, destroy their tidying, and then we can set Skill Drain and Call the Archfiend and end our turn. They're going to use Forbidden Droplets to kind of bring our monster to half attack, I suppose. So anyway, House Dragonmaid's effect is going to get negated regardless because of Skill Drain, and then they can try and pop stuff, but obviously nothing's happening. Hospitality, special summon. I don't know why they keep trying to activate effects. I feel like when Skill Drain's active and the opponent activates all their effects, I think it's in a fit of rage, because they're just trying to show me, oh, you're just activating the floodgates, you know. Anyway, they're going to attack. That would have been game, but you know, good old Dark Spirit of Banishment is going to activate. And obviously Yugioh's effect doesn't pop off, so Banishment can bring Empress out onto the field. We don't have anything else, unfortunately. Still, House Dragonmaid. 1,500 damage, we have 400 life points left. Our turn, we can get rid of Dark Bishops. We've got 2 level 8s on our side of the field. Summon Draglubion. Obviously its effect can't activate, but the whole point now is to recycle our Dark Spirits and slowly build up our advantage whilst Skill Drain is active. So yeah, bring both Banishment and Malice to our hand. We can just crash into House Dragonmaid. They have Yugioh still on the field. They probably didn't draw anything decent. Banishment into Empress, and then Empress into our Archfiend Emperor. So just let this resolve. Okay, again, like this is some sort of anime comeback if we can do it. I drew another skill drain. Absolutely pathetic. Anyway, Call of the Archfiends, summon Archfiend Empress. We have a Foolish Burial, so that can let us at least put our Dark Spirits back into our hand. It's kind of frustrating that our Cursed Necrophyr has been banished so early on, otherwise we could have popped Shio ages ago. Anyway, it's basically a top deck war at this point. Summon Emperor, try and keep as many Dark Spirits in our hand as possible. Summon Empress, Patchwork, bring Edge Imp Sabers and Poly into our hand, so that's pretty decent, because now we can use Call of the Archfiend to bring out Emperor, Edge Imp Sabers, bring out itself, and then send all those to the graveyard, bring out Underworld Goddess of a Closed World. They're going to use Gamma. I'm going to try and negate it, even though we're under skill drain. They have another Gamma, so it's just hand trap galore in their hand. So yeah, Gamma is going to summon itself. Underworld's going to be destroyed. In hindsight, I probably should not have done that because it got destroyed. Anyway, we still have Call of the Archfiend anyway, so we summon Archfiend Empress. We still have the upper hand. We're attacking, they're just setting stuff. We're slowly building our advantage back up again. If they summon another Shio, I suppose it's over. Add Poly, add Edge Imp Sabers. Not too bad. Attack, and then attack for 3k. And now we're pretty much got them on the ropes here. So they have a second call by the grave to banish our Emperor. A bit frustrating. But yeah, Polymerization. Just to recycle our Dark Spirits for God knows how many times in a row. Bring out Starving Venom. So this is also quite useful, because if he dies, we can still nuke the field. Now we've got Malice to bring out Empress. We've got Banishment to bring out Empress. So remember that true monster count versus potential monster count. Then they realize, yeah, they can't do anything. We still have Call of the Archfiend. We can still bring out stuff. So these are, now we're in Platinum. Now these are 2 Platinum Duels that we've got for you. So we've got Fire Formation Tenki, which is so we're against Tri-Brigade. So this could be Lyrilis Tri-Brigade, which is pretty annoying. Anyway, if you don't know how they work, they send a bunch of their Tri-Brigade monsters into the graveyard, and it's basically just enough to be able to link them all off into a Shuraig. So in this case, they've summoned Bear Brum something. Got a Tri-Brigade Kit and Kiras. Link all 3 of those away into Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. That has 2,400 attack, so 1624, that can like negate 3 things. Fright for Patchwork, so Polymerization, and Edge Imp Sabers. And we also have a Beatrice waiting to happen, so will they negate Tour Guide? Yes, they will. They can negate as many things as possible because they can afford to, effectively. So yeah, Tour Guide gets negated, but we've got the extender, so Poly, get rid of all 3 of those. So we have a Dark Spirit, basically off of Skarm, and we have a level 8 Fiend in our graves, that's great. Trishula, try and go into battle. Tri-Brigade Revolt, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, into Shuraig. Revolt is such a strong card. Yep, Shuraig. It's going to banish Trishula, most likely. And then, what's this? What we've got here? Nerval, I think, adds to the hand, or does it send to the graveyard? Yep, adds to the hand, and then Kit, I think, sends to the grave. Yep, so they've sent Fractal into the graveyard. And then they've added another Kit into their hand. Not too bad. So yep, Shuraig, going to get rid of Trishula. That was pretty obvious. Edge Imp Sabers, so put Skarm back on top of my deck. We have Skarm in the graveyard anyway, so we can just shuffle that back in, just to make sure we don't just top deck into like the same thing. And then we set Skill Drain, which is going to come in handy, I suppose. Bring Dark Spirit of Banishment into our hand. And now on their turn, let's see what they can do. So let's activate Fire Formation Tenki, bring a Whiptail. Okay, so it's like a Tri-Brigade, Zoodiac Tri-Brigade is what they're playing. So Kit's effect, Skill Drain, stop that in its tracks. I like the Pot of Greed laughs there. So Kit's effect, of course, gets negated. They have Appaloosa with 0 attack now as well. So they're going to attack with Shuraig, bring out Archfiend Emperor to pop both of them, may as well, because we can always try and figure out how to like recycle our spirits later on. Bring Keras into their hand. I believe they could activate that main phase 2, yeah. So activate it. get rid of Whiptail, summon itself, go into Baron Blossom. Of course, Baron Blossom can't do anything because of skill drain anyway, so they've got, well, we can't do anything against them. Summon Archfiend Emperor, I suppose. Nope, we're going to do something completely stupid. So my thought process was to bring Edge Imp Sabers out to then send a Fiendish Rhino Warrior to recycle our Dark Spirits. But instead, it gets called by it, and now Archfiend Emperor is back on top of our deck, so we're not going to draw anything new. So Cosmic Cyclone is going to get rid of skill drain. They don't have anything to do anyway, so they're just going to attack. But these skill drains off the field for them, which I suppose is nice. Our turn, just going to speed it up a little bit. Summon Emperor, we're going to pop that by banishing an Emperor. Attack for 1500, and then bring our Dark Spirit of Banishment back into our hand. Their turn, didn't do anything, I suppose they drew a hand trap. So, yeah, exactly, they drew Ash Blossom, so Foolish Burial gets negated. Still, Fiendish Rhino Warrior beatdown. Well, Dark Spirit and Fiendish Rhino Warrior, right? There's a 2 level 3s as well, so we can go into Cherubini. At turn 10, going into Cherubini. So yeah, Dark Spirit Banishment goes into our hand, we've got Empress in the graveyard, and then we're also going to get rid of Scarm, so at the end of the turn we can bring Malice. So now we've basically got like our full combo, right? Cool turn 11. Anyway, Pot of Desires on their front, so banish 10, draw 2. They, I believe, are probably going to go into Zeus. So Tiger Mortar, speed this up, right? Chaka 9, will Chaka 9 activate? Yeah. We're not going to do anything. Whiptail is going to come out. Go into Trident. Yeah, can't activate its effect. Trident's going to pop Cherubini. Borbo for the direct attack, doesn't matter. But we're going to crush it anyway, so they can't go into Zeus. Dark Spirit of Banishment. Redirect the attack and swing for game by attacking on their turn. So that's Archfiends versus Zoodiac Tri-Brigade. Right, so this is the last game of these replays, ladies and gentlemen. So let's make it count, shall we? Right, it's our turn first. We draw a skill drain, which is pretty decent. We have a tour guide. Is that going to get ashed? No. So we can go into our Beatrice play now, which is pretty decent. So tour guide into Rhino Warrior. That goes into Dante. Then Dante, what he can do, we can get rid of a, well, we basically mill 3, and obviously the 3 is nothing, it's still terrible. But we have a Scarm now, so that can add Dark Spirit of Malice if we like. But, of course, Ash Blossom has stopped it in its tracks, which is a bit annoying. So, a bit of a simplified game state we've got going on here. So, as soon as they draw, we're going to activate Beatrice's effect, get rid of Rhino Warrior, get rid of Dark Spirit of Banishment, and then they used Call by the Grave to negate Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Frustrating. So we would have sent something like Empress, right? And then recycled our Dark Spirit. Ugh. Anyway, what are we against? Phantom Knights. Fantastic. Okay, so what they're going to do? We may as well speed it up. They do lots of stuff. Skill Drain. Let's stop Phantom Knights in their tracks once and for all, shall we? They get a bunch of effects from their grave, I suppose. So, Cherubini. So they can still activate a lot of stuff, right? So they're going to bring Rank Up Magic, pretty good. Torn Scale Summon itself. Link that off to Rusty Bardish, yeah. What's Rusty going to do? Obviously nothing. And nothing, there you go. So let's attack, and then attack with Rhino Warrior. And that'll do. So, what's that? Ragged Gloves or something. Use Fog Blade. And Emergency Teleport, so they're going to bring out, was that a Rusty Bardish they're going to summon, or they're going to bring out something different? So, oh, Virtual, so Phantom Knight Virtual Worlds, right? Or it might just be an extender. Rusty Bardish, Ash Blossom to Levayer. They're just getting angry now because of skill drain being on the field, I suppose. Anyway, they can attack with Rhino Warrior. Rhino Warrior's effect will send Heiress. Heiress's effect will bring Emperor under skill drain. It's 3k attack, 3 real estate. Right. What we're going to do here, so let's attack, and main phase 2, we're going to use Beatrice's effect to get rid of Dante. Obviously his effect doesn't activate, but we can use Dante's effect to bring a Scarm back into our hand. End of the turn, we can bring Dark Spirit of Banishment into our hand. Full hand, skill drain, Beatrice, it's not too bad. What can they do? Absolutely nothing. What can we do? Try and swing for game, I suppose. We've set Plague Spreader. Right, activate Void Apocalypse. Is this enough? Yeah, I think so. So Edge Imp Sabers, put Tour Guide into our deck. Archfiend's Oath. It's cool. Tour Guide of the Underworld, shall we? Oh, what do you know? Let's add it back into our hand. Summon it. Flips Plague Spreader. Link them all off, and we can summon any level 8 synchro. In this case, it's going to be Bills, and obviously skill drain anyway. But anyway, attack Seer. Seer's effect is going to activate. Bring out Cherubini. I guess to mitigate some damage, make sure they don't lose. They have 100 life points left. Can they bring it back? We have a skill drain. Can they get over it? Bring Dark Spirit of Malice into our hand. We can pretty much do anything we want at this point. What can they do here? They've got a Tsuchinoko, okay. And what's that going to do? Summon itself? Yep. And then they've got Hime, or Heim, I think it's called. Get rid of both of those. Summon Breaksword. Oh, a rank. I don't know if I had the game last turn, to be honest. Anyway, Arc Rebellion links Siege Dragon. Not that it matters too much anyway. Ooh, Phantom Knight Sword. So at least they've got extra attack here. But we have Dark Spirit of Banishment anyway. So Dark Spirit of Banishment, bring out Emperor. Just get over that a little bit there. Main phase 2 and phase. And then on our turn, can we get over this somehow? Yeah, Edge Imp Sabers, so Duel with Dark Ruler. Archfiend's Oath, a Duel with Dark Ruler, just add that back into our hand. It's really good. Void Apocalypse, get rid of Malice, send Empress, recycle both of the Dark Spirits. And now I believe we pretty much have enough fodder to go into Underworld Goddess of a Closed World. So if we speed this up, we haven't used our normal summon. There you go. Bang. Underworld Goddess, and now we can swing for game. And deal with Dark Ruler to summon Berserk Dragon. They activate the thingy to bring out Breaksword, but we have Malice as well to bring out Archfiend Empress. So that's not too shabby, eh? That's a nice finish there. So bring out Empress. They summon Breaksword. We kill it, and then we just swing for game. So Archfiends versus Phantom Knights. I'll bet it's under skill drain, but still, we won. Okay, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So the deck is on the screen if you ever wanted to copy it. I hope that was enjoyable in some sort of way. It was a very long list of replay battles that I showed you there, but now I can get rid of those and bring up a new set of replays to show you in the near future. But I just wanted to show you kind of like the journey from like silverish up to platinum with Archfiends, because it's I'm showing you here, it's proof it can be done. So go ahead and play around with this deck and see if you meet success with it as well. So if you enjoyed this video, my name's Adam. If you didn't, my name's Steve. If you want to see more Archfiend related duels, reviews, combos and discussions, then feel free to have a browse, hit the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when content like this is uploaded in the near future. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you around.